Hey YouTube, video today is just going to be breaking down a recent flip that we sold on the market. It basically, was a pretty cosmetic flip overall, but it was a pretty long timeline just because we did purchase the property with tenants in there. But I'm going to kind of break down the comparables that we were looking at going into this, as well as prior to listing, kind of during the renovation process, and then also, just kind of what our numbers were on it. So going to go through all that. But if there's any specific questions we can break down, feel free to drop a comment or to reach out to us directly through social media if there's anything specific that you want to see. All right.
All right, guys, just going to break down the numbers on the flip there, Linda Lane. This is a 2-bed, 1-bath property on a slab, 2-car garage, and a little shed in the back. Long-term tenants were in the property, and we actually bought this from a wholesaler. The wholesaler had been working with the seller. Seller had inherited the property, didn't want anything to do with the tenants, just wanted to sell. Wholesaler locked it up for I want to say around 90,000. We Our contract to purchase the property was for 110,000. So wholesaler there was able to make an awesome fee, and really not an extensive rehab for us. We were around that $20,000 mark just for flooring, vanity in the bathroom, paint, and some appliances. And the biggest expense that we did do was the roof there. But overall, a very just cosmetic rehab, with the exception of the roof. So we did sell the property for, I believe there was an appraisal gap, 5,000, and so the property appraised for 168, and so we actually closed for 173,000. As you can see, these pictures aren't the greatest, but in the kitchen there, this is just paint on the cabinets, new countertops, and new handles, new appliances there, dishwasher, stove, microwave, and refrigerator. And existing washer and dryer are actually in the garage, right? The doors right to the left here. And you can see the flooring in the main living room. It's a pretty big open room. We thought about adding a 3rd bedroom, but we were able to get kind of the number we wanted without doing that, so we didn't bother. So we have just vinyl plank flooring here, and again, paint throughout. And then in the bathroom, in the bedrooms, carpet, nothing special, just gray paint, white trim, white ceilings. And this is the bathroom, new vanity, light, countertop, same tub surround, just recocked. And so, yeah, definitely, a more cosmetic flip for us. I'm going to break into kind of some of the comparables that we had looked at prior to purchasing this property. One here is, I guess I'll maybe start at the beginning of the process. We use batch leads for some of our, direct to seller marketing. And so right here is the property that we bought. And these are some, comparables in the area. To zoom out a little bit, we specifically, are looking for comparables in, just this specific area. This is, its own subdevelopment. And so, comparables within this area are obviously going to be the most accurate. And that is actually something that Batch will show you. Let's see. For property details, if you do have Batch, it'll say here, Hunter Trace, that is the subdivision. And so you can see, sticking to that same subdivision obviously is going to give you the most accurate comparable sales. So to zoom back in now we're essentially looking for a property of, similar size, bed bathrooms, layout, things like that. And so, in this example, there actually aren't any, 2 bed, 1 bath comparable sales. Now, this here is 944 Elizabeth Drive. I'll pull that up on Zillow just so you can see the pictures, how we related to it. And so the property on Linda Lane, as you can see here, is just over 1,000 square feet, as a 2 bed, 1 bath. Now, this property on Elizabeth Drive is, not the best comparable, as this is obviously like a split level, but it does have a 1 car garage. And as far as, updates, looks like roof, definitely not new. Um, Overall, could just use some updating on the interior. There aren't, let's see. So definitely not, not in bad shape. We did list this property here for 165,000, I believe, or 162.5. If I pull up the listing, it was listed for 162.5. So obviously, got the offer at 175 with a 5% or 5,000 appraisal gap, and ended up closing at 173. So, almost 10,000, or rather 10,500 over asking. And so, this is one property we looked at. It's a little bigger. It's a 3 bed, 1 bath. It has a 1 car garage. Could use some light updating. So that is one property we looked at. Another property we looked at is 1202 Linda Lane. So same street. It's a 3 bed, 1 bath, also with a 1 car garage, but it's a bit smaller. It's only 864 square feet. And this property sold for 157. But this was back in October of 2020. So market, definitely sped up going into 2021. And so we, kind of took that into account. This property does have a sunroom in the back. Overall, a little outdated in the kitchen. Really, we would have just gone in and painted if it looked like that. And you can kind of see in the, this is a 3rd bedroom. This is a super small room. So, taking that into account, as a 2 bed, 1 bath versus a, very tight 3 bed, 1 bath, you just kind of have to make a judgment call and, work with your agent as far as, running comparable sales and, getting an accurate, idea of what this property is going to be worth when you're done renovating. And the 3rd property that we looked at is actually across the street from this one. It is 1203 Linda Lane. And this one does not have any pictures. Sold for 147 in, this is very recent, July. This is also a 3-in-1, but again, gets even smaller, 768 square feet. So, you kind of have to question the size of that 3rd bedroom, and even, the other 2 bedrooms being such a small house. And this isn't a comp that we used. Obviously, it didn't exist when we purchased the property, but sold around the time that we were listing. So it kind of gave us an idea, going into the listing. Other than that, going to pull up just kind of our numbers on the property. This is basically our purchase and loss. We've tightened it up a bit since then. It's a little bit more attractive now, but essentially, biggest expense is the roof, 5,300. Other than that, the expenses are really just, a little bit of demo work. Other, large expenses were flooring here, carpet, and this is carpet and labor. along with some of the appliances, and overall, not a very extensive rehab at all. I don't see what the paint costed, but I do know we got a very good price as far as the labor for the paint. Beyond that, we again purchased this property for 110,000, and we needed 11,600 to close. So what we did was we got a private money lender to fund 25,000, and then that would cover the cash to close for the hard money lender, which was say 12,000, and then we would have 13,000 for rehab. And that was just deferred for the private money lender. So at closing, we got the funds back into our account, which is down here. At closing, we were paid $57,255.88. And so we took that money and then we distributed the 25,000 back to our private money lender along with interest. It was 6%. And so we paid him, $670 additionally on top of the 25,000. And so all I'm doing here is subtracting, what we got at closing, subtracting out the 25,670. And so our net on the property after closing was $31,585.88. But overall, just to kind of recap there, definitely a cosmetic rehab, wasn't super extensive by any means. The biggest difficulty was getting the tenants out, just because they were, living in the property still. We didn't have to move forward with an eviction, but we did, have to slowly work with them just because the market is so crazy right now. It's tough for them to find another place to live. So, we did our best to work with them. But other than that, if there's any part of the process that would be worth diving into more, feel free to let us know.